What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage, and welcome back to Community Fridays. This week's particular deck is Tohka Waifu, submitted by Desmond in the Discord channel. Mr. Aaron Value himself said, yeah, this is his favorite girl, and he made an entire deck for it. Like, I ain't gonna fault you, bro. Tohka is awesome. I will completely, totally agree with you on that one. Although the next community deck profile may disagree with you on that one. But let's get right into it without further ado. Yeah, let's check it out. So it's mostly it's blue, red, and the little bit of green is at level 0, so it doesn't matter. So let's start. It is also 8 book, so you are drawing cards like a madman. We got 3 copies of this 3/2/8/5 Dignified Appearance Tohka. Is an early play. If you have 4 more Date Celestial Spirit characters, this gets -1 level in hand. Heal on play. If you do, if you have another Date or Celestial Spirit, which I was gonna say music trait, basically. This gets +2k power till the end of your opponent's next turn. So, pretty cool. Early play healers, you can't go wrong. Then we have 2 copies of 3/2 10k Inverse Princess Tohka. When this is placed on stage from your hand, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, put them on top of your deck in any order, choose up to 1 of your opponent's characters, return them to their hand. Hello, Gil Thunder? What the fuck? Okay. When this card attacks, if you have 4 more other Date characters, you can pay the cost, which is pay 1 and deal yourself a damage. Put a Date character from Waiting Room to the bottom of the deck. If you do, put the bottom 4 cards of your opponent's deck into the Waiting Room and deal X damage to them. It's the Icy Tail, what people refer to as the Icy Tail effect. It's bottom deck 4 cards of your opponent's deck and burn them equal to the number of climaxes. Okay, definitely a good off finisher. I was like, wait a minute, I'm just reading Gil Thunder's first, the level 3 Gil Thunder. I'm like, bro, you're on a restricted list. Hold tight. So, 2 copies of that. 1 copy of this Battle Stance Miku. It's a 3/2/9k. During the turn, this is placed on stage from hand. At the beginning of your attack phase, you may put all players' characters except this card into their waiting rooms, and if you do, this gets the following 3 abilities until the end of your opponent's next turn. It gets 2k power, great performance, so it does have to be a middle center when you do this, by the way. And up to 1 time per turn, when damage dealt by this card is canceled, you may deal 3 damage to your opponent. It's very useful. I can see this being very useful for like getting like, oh, you have a field that I just can't break. It's gone. So, just it's like Hachima from Hololive, the one Hachima from the trial deck that just blows up the whole field. So, very fair. And I believe this is the level 3 climax combo of the deck. The 3/2/7/5. During your turn, it gets 4k power, so that's 11/5. And a book is 12/5. On play, heal the top card of clock to Waiting Room. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if Proof of Love is in your climax area, and you have a full field, you may discard any 1 card from your hand to Waiting Room. If you do, deal 3 damage to your opponent, look at the top card of your opponent's deck and put it on the top of their deck or into their Waiting Room. Which could be very, very interesting for like, oh, I go to burn you and then top check, oh, that's a climax, get the fuck out of here type thing. So that's kind of cool. So that is it for the level 3 lineup. Pretty solid in terms of the climax combo and everything. You just have to like make certain you have a full field and everything. I do like it. To the level 2s, we have 1 copy of Taking a Break Tohka. When you use this card's backup, if there is a climax in your opponent's climax area, this gets it gives the character in battle additional 2k. It goes from a 2,500 backup to a 4,500 backup. I like that. That's pretty cool. That needs to happen more in Weiss. I don't know why. That just does. 2 copies of, I'm probably going to butcher this pronunciation. I apologize. Shaddai El Chai. Miku is a 2/17k. On attack, if the character facing this is level 3 or higher, it gains 4k power and +1 soul till end of turn. When this direct attacks, looking back at Gil Thunder over here, You may choose a date or celestial spirit in your waiting room and put it into your stock. Okay. So depending if you need to kill level 3s or build up stock, you can very easily do so. So, interesting. 2 copies. 1 copy of Battle to Protect Tohka is a 2500 backup. And if you use this card's backup and you have a date, choose a character in battle and give it an extra 1,000. So we have 3,500 backup and 4,500 backup depending on your preference here. I thought one of them was going to be an anti-change. I don't know why. It's all good. And now to the ones is a 1/1/5K meeting up for a date Tohka. If the character facing this is cost 0 or lower, this card cannot become reversed. Always good. And when another date character attacks, this gets 1,000 power to end of turn. So it can become a 7K. But it's the fact of it can't be reversed. So if your opponent is on some of that, like, hey, we trying to do some Aaron shenanigans. Then we have 1 copy of a Spring Moment Yoshino is on 1/1/35. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can pay 1 stock and swap choose one of your date characters, and this exchange them as standing. Interesting. When this becomes reversed it's an anti-change reverser. So okay, so it's an anti-change reverser that bottom decks on reverse if the battle opponent is a higher level than their level. But the biggest thing is you get to pay a stock to run in front of it. Okay, I'm liking this. I also remember, I think this was one of the cards that was on like a restricted list or like, it might be one of the cards on the restricted list. I don't remember. I don't keep track of data live. Then we get to the level 1 combo is a 1/04K. If you have 2 or more, important promise Tohka. If you have 2 or more, I thought it said 4 or more. What the fuck? If you have 2 or more other date characters, this gets 2K power. So just a constant 106K. At the beginning of your encore step, if in this town Bast in the Sunset is in your climax area, you have another date character. There's no character facing this card, or the character is reversed fever, basically from mainstream. Look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Choose a date character amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, and this gets 500 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay. You get to dig really deep on that. I find it interesting that you get to dig that deep, if nothing else. Okay. And it's going to be like a good defense, and depending on what the level 0s do, it might be even bigger. Then we have this 1/0 Tohka being seductive. So 2,500, but during your turn, if all of your other realized feelings Tohka get 2K power. That's not this one. Where's realized feelings? Oh, that's this level 3. Okay. I was like, I know I saw this. Hold up. So this makes this even bigger because this does have to reverse. So it can make that level 3 even bigger. It's also a global 500. When your character's trigger check reveals a book trigger, you can pay a stock. If you do, salvage back a character. Okay, so you get to pay out the book immediately and then be able to salvage back on top of that. That's pretty cool. And plus you draw off of the book anyway, so you're just netting a ton of advantage off of that. I do like that. That's 3 copies. Okay. And so the level 0s, we have Pajama Party, Tohka, and Yoshino. If this card is in your backstage, your other character in the left and right positions of your center stage get 500 power. That is so awkward because most of the time you see like middle position gets a buff, but this is split. This is doing left and right. Okay, that's new. I do like it. When your climax is placed in your climax area, you can pay 1 stock, look up to 4, add a date character amongst them to your hand, send the rest to waiting room. 2 copies of that. 3 copies of a Spring Moment Tohka is a 0/03K. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, it's a clean cut for date characters. And if this becomes reversed in battle, put it on the bottom of your deck. It is oversized. That's understandable. 3 copies of Confrontation with Humans Tohka is a 0/015. On play, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a date character, add it to hand, and then discard 1 card. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pitch a date character to draw a card. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so just get some hand filtering going on. Not like you have to worry about like hand filtering for any of your combos, it seems. Because even for like this is off the top of the deck. So if it was like, oh, I'm setting up for like drawing, salvaging back these cards later, I guess it'd be one thing. But you're not, regardless, you get some really good hand filtering, especially if you draw a whole bunch off the books. We have 00500 Innocent Bud Tohka. The character facing this card cannot move to another position of the stage. When this card becomes reversed in battle, if the battle opponent is level 0 or lower, put that character at the bottom of your opponent's deck. Okay, so it's an anti-runner, and it is a bottom deck reverser. Very interesting. 4 copies of Shido's Conquest Tohka is a 0025. When this card is put into your waiting room from the stage, you can pay 1 and deal the top card of your deck to your clock. If you do, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose a level 1 or higher amongst them, reveal it to your opponent, add it to your hand. Probably trying to dig to get your level 1 climax combo set up. That's really cool. And lastly, we have this level 0 Vulnerable Tohka is a 1k. If you have another date character, choose a it's an act, I'm sorry. Pay 2, deal yourself a damage from the top of the deck. If you have another date character, add Proof of Love. Choose a Proof of Love in your waiting room. Put it into your climax area. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, so it says put Proof of Love into your climax area. Choose one of your characters, and that character gets plus 1,000 power till end of turn. And it has a Brainstorm. Pay 1, rest this. Mill 4 for each climax salvage. Does this get... Okay, does that forcibly put you into the climax step? Okay, the way this is... maybe there's an errata on this card. I don't think I've ever seen this. Where, okay, this is an act. You're activating this during your main phase. I'm rereading it like 5 times. You do this during your main phase to put Proof of Love, the climax, into your climax area. Does that mean it just sits there for the rest of your climax phase until you, for the rest of your main phase until you go to climax phase? Or does that immediately push you into climax phase? I need to see if there's an errata for this at some point, but otherwise, regardless, you get to get your combo rolling off. You don't have, so this is for your level 1. This will be for your level 3. Getting this off, as well as, giving an extra power from this effect. Okay. Which I guess you can deal yourself a damage, and this healed, right? Maybe it doesn't. I'm assuming the climax just sits there. You deal yourself a damage, and then you summon the Tohka to heal the damage that you took, right? And I feel that that's probably correct. I don't know, just being able to just go here. The climax is now in my climax area, but it's still the main phase. That just feels weird. I don't know. There might be an errata for this. I don't know. We'll find out later. And then 4 copies of Town Bastion Sunset and 4 copies of Proof of Love. I'm trying to stifle a yawn. So, yeah, Desmond, I definitely like this. I really haven't messed with Data Live enough as it is, but I do like me some Tohka. She is very awesome. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm just a little bit confused on this because I'm certain someone out there is gonna be like, what's it to be confused about? The climax just sits there in the main phase. I'm gonna assume that it does. I'm gonna check later on the errata page and see if there's a change to this. Probably isn't, and it just is really weird, but you would think this is supposed to be like an auto, like at the beginning of your climax phase, you can pay the cost and then summon and then play Proof of Love from waiting room. That's what it would typically be. Because it just feels weird otherwise. Oh well, Data Live's a weird set. Let's just be real. But yeah, with that, thank y'all very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want. If you also want to submit your own deck profiles, please join our Discord. Link will be in the description. And please, feel free to join up there. Go to the Decklist Submissions channel and send us a link for deck log for your own deck profiles. And if I like them, I'll probably, I may make a video for them in the future. But with that, we will be signing off. Thank y'all very much, and peace out for now.